Ready?
FHS.
Welcome, everyone. If you have not already done so, please silence your cell phones. Greene County School District has the tradition of having their senior class president come to the podium to give a speech. Olivia Shannon is the daughter of Alan and Karen Shannon. Olivia, please come forward. Turn it up.
Good afternoon, friends, family, and my fellow graduates. I would like to start by saying congratulations to my classmates, as well as a big thank you to all the teachers, staff, parents, and community members that have supported us along the way. While I could stand up here and reminisce on our past memories, from recess at elementary, dance parties at the intermediate building, to student sections in high school, today I would like to give you some things to consider as we move into our futures. In 2020, a new social media app called Be Real was released, and since its existence, it has grown popular amongst adolescents. The idea of the app is to post a picture daily, and the purpose is to be real by posting an authentic picture of what you are doing. There's no filters or ways to edit. The idea is to be your true, authentic self. During the next chapter of our lives, it is important to remember to be yourself, be authentic, and be real. However, as well as we all go off into the real world next year, as well as being yourself, there are 3 things that I think we should all be. Be kind, be happy, and be thankful. In whatever you're doing, there is so much power and significance in being kind. Treating those around you with kindness is such a simple way to spread happiness and make the world around you a better place. In the next chapter of our lives, we are going to meet many new people and have many new opportunities to treat people with kindness. Being kind does not take skill or money. All it takes is a decision, and that is ours to make every day with each person that we encounter. There is no way of knowing what battles others are going through, so it is important to live in kindness. And next, be happy. I hope for everyone sitting in front of me to simply be happy in whatever plans that you make for yourself in the future. Life is too short to spend it doing something that you do not enjoy, so find something that you love to do and work hard to be the best version of whatever you choose to be. Life may not always be easy or go as planned, but it's up to you to face adversity, and how we respond to a problem will determine our happiness. And finally, be thankful. As I said before, life is short, and it's too short to take advantage of anything or a single day for granted. Therefore, we should all be thankful and appreciate everything that comes our way by seeing the good in every situation. Be thankful for all the little moments, the struggles, the lessons, the people, the memories, and the opportunities you will have in your future. Instead of always looking to the future or obsessing over all the things that you wish to have in your life, while it is good to set goals, appreciate the journey of meeting those goals and all the small things along the way. Whether you're going straight to work, heading to college, or a training program, we should all remember to be kind, be happy, and be thankful in everything that we do in our futures. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2023. It has been a privilege to grow up with you all, and I would like to wish you the best of luck in your futures. Thank you.
Yeah. Michelle Scala Gustafson grew up in rural Scranton and graduated from Scranton Consolidated High School in 1979. Michelle attended Creighton University from 1979 to 1980, then transferred to Iowa State University and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Business in 1983. After graduation, she went to work for Archer's Daniels Midland Company as a commodities trader in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was at a grain convention in Omaha where she met her future husband, Brian. He was also a commodities trader at the time for Farmar Co. In 1987, Michelle and Brian were married and moved to Kearney, Nebraska, where she worked for DeBruce Grain for 3 years and Brian worked for PV Grain. Michelle left the grain industry and opened her own gourmet kitchen and decorating retail store for 10 years while in Kearney. They moved back to Omaha, and Michelle got her Series 6 and 63 investment life insurance licenses, where she worked in the financial industry for 4 years. Since 2007, she has been working for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate in Omaha, formerly Prudential Real Estate, and is licensed in Nebraska and Iowa. She has also been licensed in Arizona. She is in the top 2% for sales in Berkshire Hathaway Home Services network nationwide. Michelle and Brian have 2 grown children and a new grandchild. Kara Gustafson Small and her husband Andrew and their son Jaden live in Omaha. Jared, their son, lives in Kansas City, is in the grain commodities field. She loves to travel, cook, ride her bike, and connect with people. She loves spending time with her family and new grandson. The whole family recently traveled together and spent 10 days in Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. She enjoys sharing her career path and is always open to help or answer any questions regarding any of the diverse areas of work she has worked in. Please contact me if you would like to connect with her after today. Let's welcome Michelle Scala Gustafson.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that intro. One thing I'm going to say, if you guys can't hear me, I talk really loud, but I can talk soft. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. And been in sales, so no one's going to offend me. Just keep that in mind. Another thing that I'd like to say is usually I have my phone connected to me and I don't have it. So if I'm like looking for it, I'm a little crazy. But I do know no one's going to hang up on me today, right? Good. Another thing, as you listen to Brian give me an overview of the background that I have, you've heard that I've done lots of different things. And I think one of the things that I think is important, and I know you've already, your class president already mentioned that, is to have a passion no matter what you do. I've done a lot of different things. I think a lot of those things have formed me today, and you will find the same thing for you, depending on what you decide to do in your careers. Try to find the passion in whatever you do. Because if you find passion, you'll find happiness. You're also going to make everybody around you happier. I will tell you that for sure. I've had a couple jobs and career paths that weren't exactly the best thing suited for me. So I do think that's important to do. Next is, when I started in real estate, I don't think that I wasn't really looking for a career in real estate. I don't think there was any majors that said real estate. There might have been some investments with real estate investing, but I didn't do real estate till later in life. And a lot of times people do real estate as a second career, third career. But one thing I found out that really interests me, and your parents probably will look at me like, don't say that. Real estate is one of those things you are in business for yourself. Now, most of the things I had done before were sales related. So I kind of felt like I was in business myself. But when I started in real estate, I realized that the only person that's going to be successful and that can do it is me. You know why? Because you're an independent contractor. So when you're an independent contractor, I don't go to an interview and they say, how much do I get paid, right? That's determined by me. I have a unlimited potential on the upside, but I also have a bottom, and it could be negative because you do have some expenses. But it is one thing that if you ever have any interest to be, entrepreneurial, that definitely is a profession that is very, it's very well suited for me, and it might be suited for you. But again, a lot of people do that later in life. So if you ever have any questions, don't ever be afraid to call me, because I do a lot of times talk to people that are interested in real estate. They don't know much about it, but that's okay. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. When I started, there was a lot of people with the different backgrounds. There was a couple gentlemen that were farmers. And I had, of course, a lot of commonality with those people to kind of see why they chose that path. We had interior designers, we had finance people, we had teachers. You have a lot of different backgrounds of people and what they do for a change of career. And so what I found out really soon in that career is maybe 3 things that I need to do. Does anybody have any ideas what those are? I'm going to wake you guys up here. Well, first of all, no one's going to use me as a real estate agent if they don't know me, right? They don't even know what I do. I could stand on the rooftop and yell, okay, I'm in real estate, but are they really going to be interested in using me? No, you have to build relationships. So they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. And as I was getting ready for this speech today, I think those 3 things are the culmination of everything you guys need to do in life and think about. Things that will be associated with your family. Do they know you? Do they like you? You guys are going to shake there and think maybe your brother doesn't like me or sister, right? But they have to trust you too. And trust also is involved in doing what you say you're going to do. And friends, you guys have your friends. Would you classify that as the same situation? You guys have maybe gone to grade school, known each other for 12 years. Would that be the situation with most of you guys? You guys have known each other for 12 years or so? Okay. And then faith is involved in that as well. Somewhere you're going to need to have some type of faith. And then the last thing is business. Businesses need people that are going to be knowing that you like them and trust them. You're going to go off, if you're going to college, maybe a 2-year education, maybe you're going to just start work, maybe in the military. But all those things are important to know that someone knows you, likes you, and trusts you. Now, you guys, I think you're alphabetical, right? Okay. Look to your right. Who's that person next beside you? How well do you know them? I think you have some either cousins or brothers, right? You probably know them pretty well, right? And most of the people in the audience are either family, right? Brothers or sisters, grandparents. So you all know them pretty well. So this group, we probably, it's like a party because we haven't seen each other's brothers, sisters, aunts and uncles. We know each other. But if you look to your right, how well do you know that person? You've been with them 12 years, right? What do you know about them? Maybe some of you guys have been on the same sports team, maybe the same dance team, but do you really know them? So by not knowing them, and you guys have a class of what, 67, am I right? Somewhere in that range? You guys don't know how many you have in your class? How many? 79, okay. Just trying to catch you guys off guard a little bit. Okay, so if you have that many in your class, that's not a big class. I had a class of 40. So I felt I knew most of those people in my class, but what I found out is we do have reunions every once in a while, and I'm learning so much more about those people that I never knew in high school, okay? Your parents know a lot of people, right? But what happens, and you will never know of the opportunities by not being able to maybe introduce yourself to someone, learning something about someone else. So I'm going to give you a story. I want the graduating class to answer this. So who is one of the richest men in Omaha? Okay, who said that? Good. Thank you. Did anybody else jump on that one? Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to tell on my daughter a little bit. So it would have been, I think Kara's probably in her early teens. We're going to the dermatologist. We walk into the dermatologist's office, and who do I see? Now, I had my Series 6 and 63. I'd been in investments. I'd sold insurance. I was feeling pretty smart about that time, and we were the only 2 in the room. I looked over. He's by himself. I thought that was strange. And I thought, okay, the kids are here. I had my son also with me. And I thought, I'm going to go and introduce myself. It took a lot of courage to do that because I thought, what am I going to say? Oh, how are you? You know, wow. One of the richest men in the world, and I'm going to say, hi, how are you? But guess what? I got up, started walking over to him, and what did I see him do? Okay, this is kind of gross, but he's picking his nose, okay? Not only picking it, he's really picking it. And I was like, oh man, should I go over there and shake his hand? I think that was my excuse, but I didn't do it. But we did get called into the office and I never shook his hand. And I'm using this as an example that it was an opportunity that I could have had. And now I work for his company, Berkshire Hathaway, one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the richest men in the world, and I didn't go over there and shake his hand. So as graduates, some of the things that I would like to pass on to you is there's always opportunity, always. So if you look at a few things, what are some opportunities that you maybe have passed on through your 18 years? Think back. Were there people? Were there things you didn't do because you were afraid to do them? You didn't have the confidence maybe. You maybe didn't think you had the skill sets. But what we find as you get older, it just transgresses on from one thing to the next, that we can do certain things. And you look back and think, wow, how did I do that? One of the things that I think we talked about this in the introduction is we've been very fortunate in the last few years to do quite a bit of traveling. And when you travel, you just have a wider perspective of the world. And if I would say to any of you graduates, how many have traveled overseas? Okay, where have you gone?
He's from Norway.
Norway.
You're from Norway. They had to tell me that now. Okay, you're still a good example. And I want to go to Norway. That is one of the European countries I haven't been. I'm going to pick up to you later, and I'm going to stay at your house. Tell your mom and dad right now, okay? All right. So when you're able to do that, and you know, a lot of times I would ask different people, you know, have you been there? I want to learn about that. And don't be afraid to ask adults, other people that have traveled to certain areas, but travel can really open up your world. And don't be afraid to ask questions with other people. The other thing besides travel is, how many of you have grandparents, great-grandparents? How many have really had a conversation with them? Do you know about your background? Do you know about their parents? Take back the years. You know, World War I, there's probably no one hardly living, right? Do we know what year World War I was? You don't have to answer. Anyway, World War II. Those are tough times in the world. And if you don't have some personal history of that, and there's somebody living, ask them those questions. Or the Depression. My mother was living in the Depression, and when we cleaned out her house when she passed away, we knew she lived in the Depression. But did we ask her a lot of questions about that? Okay. So here's what I know. Healthy relationships are the heart of family, friends, your faith, and your business. So I'm saying healthy relationships. The more you have, the more opportunities to grow. Relatability is something that helps you grow in those relationships. When I would go into an appointment, I still do this today. I'm dating myself. How many know the song Karma Chameleon by Boy George? Now, here's what I do when I go on an appointment. I try to become a chameleon. Why do I do that? I want to blend in. I want to find something in common with someone, right? I'm in sales. So I still sing that song as I'm driving up to a house. And I think about it, and I think, what can I pull from my background that I can relate to? I talked about travel, right? There's going to be other things. I talked about my history, my family history. There are so many things that you will do in your life that the more exposure you have to other people's lives, background, that you can learn from them, that will enhance your relatability to other people in your careers, your friendships, your marriages, and your life. Now, a few things, and everybody can hear me, right? Okay. A few things that we would also like to say is, my kids used to never like to be in the car with me alone, ever. They call them LLs, life lessons. They hated those. They hated to be in the car with me because I would always give them life lessons. There's always lessons. When they're in their teens, yeah, I think they'd open the door with me driving and get out rather than be in the car with me. But there are some life lessons that I think will also relate to you guys and to any sales job, or again, to your relationships with family, friends, your faith, and your business. Number one, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Has anybody ever said that to you? Okay. And there's a reason for that. You need to listen. Number 2, have you ever answered a question with a question? My mom used to hate that. My husband hates it. But you know what, I do it? First of all, it's a sales technique sometimes, but sometimes you need to know more about something. And by doing that, you're going to learn more about that person. Okay? Here's another one. How many of you guys could go on an airplane and talk to the person beside you? How comfortable are you doing that? I don't see very many people raising their hands. But you know what? I think if I was your age, I'd probably be saying the same thing. I was very, very shy. But here's why. I'm in sales, right? I never know who I'm going to speak to. I was on a trip recently flying back to Omaha. In the airport, there were basketball players. I had no idea where they were from, but they were tall. They were dribbling basketballs. And I was interested to see where they're from and kind of the background. As I'm boarding the plane, I said to the gentleman in front of me, wow, where are these guys from? Where do you think? He spoke in a British accent, going to Omaha. I'm thinking, well, this is interesting. I understood him, but barely. Anyway, I said, what are you doing in Omaha? And he goes, you know, they've just now, it's been in business for a while, but we now have a semi-pro soccer team. And he was the coach of that soccer team. As we're boarding the plane, I said, wow, where did you play? I started talking to him. I said, did you win? No, it was 0-0. I'm like, oh my gosh, going all the way with a 0-0 game. But anyway, before we were seated, guess what? He gave me his name, his number. I gave him my name and number. He needs to buy a house. Just because I asked him if he knew anything about who was in the airport with us, right? You guys have so many opportunities. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Either they will be people that you may not know, but if you do know them, they may open a world of opportunity for you. That has happened so many times in my life. I will tell you also, I do a lot of open houses. I meet a lot of different people. Do you know how many people are from this area in Omaha? So many. My husband calls it the center of the universe. Between Carroll and Jefferson, I can come home almost every day and meet someone that's from this area. So you can't be afraid to try to meet people, find what their commonality is like, and then learn from that. The last thing I want to talk about is you need to put your game face on. You hear that a lot, right? You need to smile. You know, we talked about happiness. Your president talked about happiness. When we go to Europe, I play a little game. I walk down the street and smile, say hi. A lot of times I get hi, but they know I'm American. Depends on what country I'm in. But it's always interesting to see who's going to open up and say hi, talk to me, just smile. So I find that's kind of interesting. The other thing that you want to make sure and do and think about is it still relates to friendship and families, but it's not what you make, it's what you keep. I have a lot of real estate agents in my office that do very well. But I'll bet you any money, I probably save a lot more money than they do. And what do we do with money? We compound it, just like we do our relationships. You may know a friend that knows a friend that knows a friend, and that friend, that third step in the relationship, may be the one person that will employ you, that you'll get your insight into a company you want. So, as I close out, if we continue to build relationships, someone needs to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. That is encompassing all types of family, friends, faith, and business. If you continue to not be afraid, what I usually say is go into the wind. When you're sailing, I don't think you can sail straight into the wind. I think it's a 45-degree angle. But if you can sail into the wind and get that wind force behind you, it will blow you in the direction you need to go. And if we use that on a regular basis, day by day, you guys will have happiness in your friendships, your life, your faith, and your work relationships and business. One thing I always think about, and I'll leave you with this, I don't know if they teach you guys to read phonetically anymore, but relationship, relate, shh. I'm saying shh, because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? We need to listen. And ship. Don't be afraid to take the initiative to open up your mouth on an elevator, on a train, next door to some, or next that you're sitting beside on an airplane, because you never know who you're going to open your world to. It can change your world. It has on mine. Thank you, graduates. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Great job. Here you go. At this time, would Ashlyn Hinners please come to the stage as a salutatorian of the class of 2023? Oh, get it on right. Ashlyn Hinners is the daughter of Brian and Melinda Hinners. Throughout the last 4 years, she has been involved in volleyball, basketball, track, choir, Interact Club, group speech, and NHS. She was elected as the vice president of NHS. Outside of school, she has been involved in church activities. Her favorite high school memories are beating Sadell at Wells Fargo Arena and all the high school dances. Ashlyn plans to attend Drake University, where she will study athletic training. A round of applause for our salutatorian. It is quite an accomplishment to become the valedictorian of your class. Would Jesse Miller please come to the stage? Jesse is the son of Mark and Jennifer Miller. Over the last 4 years, Jesse participated athletically in football, basketball, track, and field. Outside of the classroom, he was involved as president of National Honor Society and the secretary of Interact Club. He also enjoyed church classes at Catholic Church. One of Jesse's favorite memories in the past 4 years was winning the volleyball and dodgeball tournament his junior year. He has loved hanging out with friends, playing his favorite sports, and seeing his hard work pay off. Next year, Jesse will be attending the University of South Dakota to play football and obtain his pre-med requisites by majoring in medical biology. A round of applause for our valedictorian. Our honor graduates. Students wearing the green cords have obtained 200 community service hours. Those students wearing a red cord are blood donors of distinction. Those students with a white stole are members of National Honor Society. Graduates wearing a blue and yellow cord are members of FFA. Graduates wearing a solid blue cord have completed at least one career pathway in the Greene County Career Academy. A red, white, and blue cord demonstrates a graduate has completed at least 6 credits in Career Technology Education Program. A silver tassel on graduate's cap symbolizes an honor graduate. Graduates wearing medals are receiving the Biliteracy Award. Gold cords symbolize the achievement of scholastic honors. The student must have a 4-year GPA of at least 3.5. A round of applause for our honor graduates, please. I'd like to now recognize a student who is currently in basic training and not able to attend. He's in the National Guard. Please give Devin Schmidt a round of applause in his absence. Mr. Abbotts and Mrs. Silbaugh, would you please go to the diplomas by the table? On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Greene County Community School District, I present to you the class of 2023 for graduation. The records indicate that they have met the requirements of the Greene County Board of Education, and I thereby recommend them to be awarded the diplomas they have earned. Would the first row of seniors please stand and line up? Anna Lynn Grace Baugh. Brianna Marie Blasnitz. Stephen Ellsworth Blasnitz, Jr. Cale Robert Borgeson. Brian Jeffrey Burris, Jr. Grace Deanne Curtis.
Congratulations.
Patrick Connor Daughtry. Richard Brayton Daughtry. Bork Home Ersness. Caitlin Louise Fields. Gabriel Matthew Fincel. Parker James Fitzpatrick. Oh, careful. Oh my God. Ethan Scott Frederick. Sadie Irene Gilbertson. Gunnar Ashton Goebel. Emma Ray Halterman. Mason Michael Happy. Katrina Marie Heipel. Natalie K. Heipel. Ashlyn Sue Henners. Allie Marie Heino. Elsie Arabella Hooper. Matthew Leon Hovick. Emma Jolie Hoyle. Kyle Douglas Hughes.
Okay.
Lucas Stephen Jablonski. Joshua Adam Jansen. Greta K. Kersey. Madison Lynn Kinsey. Aaron Robert Knoll. Parker Nicholas Lehman. Bella Grace Lindbergh. Andrew Kekoa Martin. Bradley Allen Mason. Chad Allen Maston. Cody Austin McCullum. Jesse Joseph Miller. Michael Martin Mills. Dakota Matthew Motley. Caleb Patrick Most. Jeremiah Arthur Mozina. McCade Ernest Owens. Jacob Eli Parnell. Alexa Catherine Peters. Kale Tate Peterson. Jude Francis Pottlesack. Grayson Grant Purdy. Kinley Neal Robbins. Braden Adam Roberts. Emma Jean Rosenow. Cameron May Sanders. Isabella Jolie Schroeder. Olivia Elise Shannon. Cade Lucas Ray Silbaugh. Autumn Nicole Stevens. Jada Lynn Joe Strennan. Milo Samuel Tott.
Hang in there. Good job.
Reagan Lynn Toon. Jose Eduardo Velasco. Alexa Danielle Villalobos. Rasmus Wyatt Billabro. Derek John Wilson. Cadence Michelle Winger. Thank you, everyone. Graduates, please move your tassels to the left side. Stand, turn to the inside, and face the audience. I present the graduating class of 2023.
Largemouth fishing in another town. You just got
Graduate, you can exit.
on your plate to bake.
Thank you, everyone.
Has to learn. You can always put a rain check in his hand till you can't.